Hello. I wanted to make a video to talk about a couple of things. Today I had a client tell me that they're going to take a break from working with me because the thing that we've been working on is resolving. They've figured it out, they comprehend it, they've been making really incredible steps toward correcting the dynamic that we've been working on, and they don't have a reason to come back right now. I love it when my clients are able to say that to me. And usually my clients are able to say that to me pretty quickly. I don't have any clients that I see individually that have to continue seeing me for extremely long periods of time to bring resolution to an issue. The reason that that's the case is because I only work with people who actually want to move through something. So if I get someone who wants to come and complain every single week and not actually make steps toward resolving whatever the dysfunction is, then I don't see them. I'll say, listen to the recording. And when you've completed everything on the recording, because I record all of the sessions, when you complete what's on the recording, you can come back and we'll talk about the next steps. But I don't coddle people into feeling like they can just show up and complain. I want to see results. I'm very passionate about this because when I was younger and I was taken to a psychiatric hospital at the age of 14 and introduced to my first psychiatrist and psychologist, actually. The psychiatrist, while I was in there crying, was writing in shorthand and completely disconnected. Like there was just nothing going on between us. And I knew, well, this person isn't going to be able to help me because they can't feel me. And if they can't feel me, then they can't help direct me through this problem. And of course, it was a psychiatrist. He prescribed me some medication, which also did not work. Because my issue wasn't, it didn't need medication. It was, and most of them don't. They need to be dealt with by understanding how to better interact with a person or one's own thoughts or one's emotions. Someone needs to find a better way to think about a thing, or just a new way to think about a thing that actually creates movement. But rarely does it ever have to do with a situation where one actually needs medication. Medication means I'm happy being stagnant. And I know that's going to piss a lot of people off to hear me say that, but hey, I've been on every medication you can imagine. Not all of them, of course, but a lot for psychiatric purposes. And none of them did anything except turn me into a numb and tired human being. What's the use of that, right? So the reason I wanted to talk to you guys about this is because I've had some experiences with people in my circle that have come to me for help, and it's been an extraordinary experience. And I've also experienced a certain amount of criticism from people in the psychology field and even in the energy field. And I just want to kind of address the way that I see things in regard to what's being said to me. So because of the issues that I went through, because of the deep emotional pain that I was in, and because of the fact that through the various, and I mean various, psychiatrists and psychologists that I saw from the time I was 14 until I was 33, none of them, other than the one who was non-traditional, helped me with a damn thing. They were seriously useless. So I have a pretty negative opinion of that field, because the things that should be addressed in it, the things that psychologists and psychiatrists should be able to do, they can't. They don't even know it exists. I'm going to give you an example. I have a former student, former client, both, and this person was experiencing some serious distress. And she reached out and asked for a session, and I said, well, how about we just put you in a session with my advanced class? So my advanced class, they've been studying with me for many years, and we dive into all of this psychological stuff, and we also dive into the energetics of it all, which, by the way, the energetics are never discussed in the fields that I've been talking about. And so this person was supposed to show up in class, and we were going to talk and work on her and stuff. And then she couldn't. Something happened and she couldn't. So I said, well, how about we treat you from a distance? We work on you. You don't have to talk to us. You don't have to show up, nothing. We'll work with your energy. She was like, that's great. I would love that. So me, Geschichte, the energy that saved my life and has been teaching me since I was 19, and my advanced students all worked on this girl for an hour and a half or so by tuning into her field. So in my teachings, I teach about a structure to the human being, which is 8 fields. And these fields, I'm not going to go into all of that now, but 3 of these fields are the thought field, the emotional field, and the perspective field, or the perception field. And that trio right there consistently has a dynamic, and that dynamic that it has about a thing is either working in your favor or it's torturing you. In this situation, that dynamic was torturing her. So we all tuned into those fields and the physical field. We also did some energy work with her physically, which was very beneficial. But we tuned into these 3 fields and uncovered the dynamic that was going on between her thoughts, her emotions, and the way she was seeing her life. And that's why she was stuck in the way that she was stuck. So we created an energetic alchemy for her, that's my process. That's what I came up with through my own pain, is this process where you're actually listening to the pain teach you about its path into function. It's a brilliant process. It's very difficult to learn. It's highly, highly effective. So we create an alchemy for this girl. And mind you, she hasn't talked to us at all. We have, from her speaking, we have no idea what she's been dealing with, why she's in such distress. But from tuning into her fields, we know exactly why she's experiencing distress. So we create an alchemy for her. We also perform healing integration therapy, which is the healing form that me/Geschichte created to help people heal from all kinds of things. And with that, we've gotten people off ventilators, out of comas, all kinds of cool stuff. But anyway, so we send her this alchemy and she starts listening to it. She was a former student, so she understands the point of an alchemy, the power of an alchemy. And so she does what you're supposed to do with it. She starts listening to it. And we get a message from her saying, this is so on point. It's already, I feel lighter. Already I have more comprehension about how to move through this. I have more comprehension about what the problem was in the first place, which I've been trying to figure out for 10 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The following week, so now she's had the alchemy for a week. The following week, she shows up so that we can actually have a conversation with her. Us meaning me, Geschichte, and this advanced class. So we have this conversation with her, and she has even more clarity, more understanding of how to move through it. And we ask her, how do you feel? She says, I feel completely different. I feel lighter. I have so much mental clarity. I feel hopeful about my future, how to move forward. That's one session of talking for about an hour and a half, and one energetic treatment where she received an energetic alchemy that she listened to at least once a day for a week. So in 2 sessions, one of which she didn't even talk to us, we were able to get her through something that she might have tried working on for 10 years in a traditional setting. Now, this method immerses you in the pain for a minute, so it's very uncomfortable. And a lot of the critiques that I've received from people that are in the more traditional field are about the discomfort, and they don't understand the discomfort that they're feeling, and they immediately try to make it fit within their box of, oh, you're re-traumatizing me, you're fragmenting me, blah, blah. No, I'm not. In fact, I am an integration specialist. I know exactly how to integrate all those pieces that are fragmented because, number one, I can see them, I can feel them, I can hear them, and I can hear their path into integration. But when you first start that process, it hurts. It's very uncomfortable, and it feels like all you want to do is run away from it because that's what we're all used to doing. We're used to running from the pain or wallowing in the pain. And this method that I'm talking about has nothing to do with that. And if you look at the world we're living in now, it's in some pretty extreme states of running from pain or wallowing in pain. And it's gotten to the point now where we're being bullied and coerced into thinking that the right way to handle dysfunction or pain is to coddle it, to create as many padded rooms as we need to make everyone who's in a sensitive state feel comfortable, instead of actually holding compassion and awareness of what an issue is and helping someone get to the root of it and break it open and be free of it. And that is my main complaint with the world of psychology, the world of psychiatry as it is. It's fine with being complacent to the point now that if you're looking for therapists online, they're describing themselves with pronouns, or, incredible psychologists like Jordan Peterson are losing their licenses. And in my opinion, this is going to take us into some really dark spaces. And this is why people have such a bad opinion of therapy, is because this is what's become normal. I have a student who told me that her sister was in therapy for 30 years to work on this one specific issue, which she told me about. And if that same person was to come to me and work with me on that issue, she would have had it resolved in a couple months. 30 years, and still didn't resolve it. That's pathetic. That's a serious problem. And in regard to, that field, and in regard to energy work, the constant idea that I'm too sensitive and I just can't handle being around other people's pain, and I can just feel everything that's going on around me, and it's just too much, and I just can't handle it. We're supposed to be able to feel each other's pain. That's why we have a field that's an emotional field that we can actually tune into with other people, that we can share. It's so that we have comprehension of each other, so that we have awareness in what happens when we interact with someone, so that we have feedback about what we're doing in our own life, and we have feedback about the way that we're approaching things with other people. It's an entire beautiful feedback system that we're meant to be in tune with to help us navigate life. So to be so weak that you can't even handle the pain of others, That's why we're in the situation we're in this world, where everyone is either trying to coddle someone's pain. That's a symptom of your pain is too much, I don't want to feel it. Instead of let's get in there and work with that and resolve it. And it's turning this world into an insane asylum. So I'm making this to say that to truly have a healthy life, healthy relationships, healthy world, we've got to be willing to be honest with each other, and we've got to be willing to be honest with ourselves, and to be able to deeply admit to ourselves why we don't accept ourselves, to be able to deeply admit to ourselves, why we behave certain ways we behave, why we respond and react certain ways that we respond and react. We have to be able to look at ourselves with honesty and integrity so that when we're interacting with others, we actually can help each other move forward in an honest way, not just try to coddle each other into this fake moving forward thing that's happening right now, where we just come up with all different types of labels for all of these dysfunctions and say that it's all okay because it's all beautiful. No, it isn't. It's not all beautiful. It's dysfunction, and it needs purified so that we can all operate at our true potential state. And, this is how I operate, and this is how I help people. And if you want to check out the way I work, if you want to check out some of the cool stuff that's happening, come to the wisdom teaching that's going to be on October 4th, which is about navigating fear. And we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of what fear actually is, because here's the thing. Human beings are in a constant state of fear. Truly. Most of us have so much fear, and we don't want to look at it. We want to pretend like it's not there, but we're in a perpetual state of fear, and then we're in a perpetual state of avoiding that fear. And there's no way for us to actually become our potential if we're ignoring the fear instead of interacting with it properly. So, come. It's $10. Show up. Have a good time. Be uncomfortable with the topic, and then also have epiphanies through the whole thing. And then at the end, we're going to create a meditation to help transform the energy that we deal with in that day. All right? So, thanks for listening.